And this is Dan Annis. Just gonna talk a little bit about sprites and sound effects for PMA 7 week. What are we, 3? I guess it's project 2, but week 3. So just talking about sprites, I've got up on my screen here, I've got a sprites list of little images of army men. It's the same army guy, but basically it's several different images that create the animation. I've used sprites before, not as detailed or as complex as this one here, but I've used sprites in web design. I think sprites have dated back forever. I think we've been using them in 2D for forever, but at least a long time. So I think a sprites list is definitely a cool thing. It's where you can have one giant image where the image only has to load once, and then you target the certain area, the pixels where that image is. And in this tutorial here on cartoonsmart.com, they walk you through actually how to do some animations for games. And I just pulled this guy's up because I do a lot of tutorials from Cartoon Smart, and I think he's got a lot of good stuff. So when we were bringing up sprites, I thought that was a good time to bring this up. But you can see he's got various parachutes and then just walking, certain walking things. I think I can hit play here. You might be able to see, this is where he's pinpointing them. He's got some tanks. I thought there was where he actually runs this game that this tutorial is actually showing you how to make a game. Probably something that we're going to be learning in a couple of months. Just talking to a few upperclassmen. Man, I wish I could find where that was, where they show that the sprites are being used. But it's really cool. Again, I think sprites are definitely good because it only has to load once, and then you can access the pixel area. And then, I don't know, there's not a lot to talk about. I've just used them before, so I just kind of know how they work. And so you've got some animation. I'm just trying to look at, if you look at some of these are walking and running and stuff like that. Here's some running. You can just access these too, and then loop them, and then you got an animation with it running. So I'd show you my versions of sprites, but I don't even remember what website I have those on. But usually I use them for buttons where I can just change between colors and hovers and stuff like that. Another thing that we're going to talk about is sound effects and what kind of sound effects we could use. There's many different resources. There's tons of licensing free sites out there to get your music and sound effects and just all kinds of things. I've actually used Pond 5. I know others have used other different ones. I've used Pond 5 before. Actually, in my own app video, I made a demo video for an application that I have out in the App Store right now, and basically I needed an animation, and I needed sound effects, and I needed sound to make it good. So, I mean, just any of these, you can play it and you can hear it. When you download these, this is $2.49 and it's royalty free, so you basically own it once you have it, and you can use it. So I kind of had to browse through. It takes a lot of time to find the things that you want. You kind of got to be specific. You've got good search engines and stuff like that, but for games, for anything really, using sound effects and stuff, it takes a lot of time to figure out what you want. I'll show you the demo video that I had where I used a lot of Pond 5. This is basically my animation. You can kind of hear, there's a voiceover, but you can hear all these little sound effects going on, keyboard typing, all the, so you can get as detailed as you want. I won't keep this going, but you can keep this, what was I going to say? You can keep it as detailed as you want or as simple as you want. I think in this one I've only used like 3 or 4 different versions of sound effects and just kind of used them for each of the swipes and the things that fall down. It's just cheaper that way. I was on a low budget for this animation thing. But this little video here, this was for my Pocket Parties app. Some of you know of it, some of you don't, but that's okay. So looking forward being in PMA 7, and some people I think are in game development right now. Sprites are definitely cool, definitely a great way to access images and animations and create animations just by accessing the pixels. And then I've always used Pond 5, I'll probably stick with it, but there's plenty of different things that you can have in here. I mean, fast cartoon eating, you know, whatever it is, you just look it up, and if you like it, you download it, save it, and then implement it. So I'm not 100% sure what more we need to talk about, but this is my video, and I hope it's enough. So yeah, that's all I got.